Welcome back to Bloom and Rage. We're in the most important scene of the game, the scene where we meet our friends. We're going to have 3 episodes here, probably. A lot. It's an important scene, and it's very well crafted in many ways. It's also very bad in many ways.
Oops.
We're going to get to talk about all of it. But in this episode, I want to talk about something that is really nice, and that is generating momentum. You will often find that your stories aren't moving very well. Things feel forced if you don't generate momentum. And especially at the beginning, you don't start with any momentum, so you need to generate it. What's going to happen next? Why should we care? Why do our characters move in the way they move? So many stories, the characters just do something because the story demands it, right? So how do you generate momentum? Well, one very classic way to generate momentum is to have a trait of our character force our character to do something that generates momentum, something they wouldn't normally just go do. In this case, that's going to be our obsession with filming things on our camcorder. I want to pay attention to this next bit and how it unfolds. We're using our camcorder, and that introduces the Youper Scooper. The Youper Scooper is vaguely interesting to us because it's something that we're generally in favor of, sweets. Now, the character is overweight, so that's kind of playing with that, but even if the character was not overweight, it is absolutely 100% fine for a 15-year-old girl to look over at an ice cream parlor and go, yeah, get me some of that. So it's important to realize that we are leveraging her filming in order to direct her attention to something that would be natural for her to want and give her a reason to engage with it. But all of that is a cover. The point of this is not to have her go get an ice cream. The point of this is to have her go meet her friends. It's arranged such that in order to get the ice cream, she has to meet these new people that are going to be her friends. And I think it's really important to see that unfold and to see how it was written so that you can write very similar scenes on your own. Of particular importance is the exact way that the Youper Scooper is introduced, with the laughter of her new friends, the people she hasn't met yet. So take a look, take a listen, make sure to notice the laughter.
Here we have evidence of a minor suburban tragedy. A dropped ice cream cone. But in nature, nothing goes to waste. And now, we discovered the source of the ill-fated cone, the Youper Scooper. Hey, it finally reopened.
Last chance for scoops.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Nor.
A frozen slushie on a hot summer's day. Maybe I should get one.
For research. And then capture more footage.
Lots to do before I head home. This has been Swan, filming at the Movie Palace on July 7th, 1995. More to come.
So now we've generated some momentum, and the way that this is laid out, we're definitely going to have to meet these people in order to get our ice cream. It's worth noting that this is used repeatedly. In the early game, the use of the camcorder, this, is definitely the number one way that our character generates a momentum. They sort of forget about it later on when they don't need it quite as much to generate momentum specifically, so it's a useful tool in the beginning, but it could have been a useful tool later on for other purposes if they hadn't forgotten it existed. It's worth noting that at the end of the scene, we get involved over here with that lady there. And we'll see that happen in episode 3 of this scene. But it's worth noting that that is also generated by our camcorder. The camcorder is being used to generate almost all of the motion in these early scenes. As that wears out, as we no longer need to generate motion using the camcorder, it mostly gets switched over to using Cat, the character, to generate momentum, which we'll see later on. But understanding how momentum gets generated, how the vector of the story gets pointed, is really important if you plan to write your own stories. Nice short one. In the next episode, we're going to talk about timing and gates. That'll be fun.